Welcome back to Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and we're going to bring you another practice report with the information I have gathered since practice has ended and, well, while practice was going on. What's up, Daniel? I see you. Appreciate you for joining us. And what my goal is with doing this is trying to gather as much information I can from different sources and bring it to you in one-stop shop, so to speak. What up, C Iron? Appreciate you for joining. And, so you won't have to go pull from 18 different sources and try to find information. You can come, get it from me and a few other content creators, and you ain't got to go search 900 different sources that you can get your information and sort of like a Walmart of stuff. You can get your groceries and your supplies and your bathroom stuff and your kitchen stuff and your food. You get it in one place. So that's what I'm gonna try to do, is give you as much as I can. And I know there'll be some other people that have some other stuff that I don't have, and you can go get it from there too. So that's the goal of these little practice reports that I'm, as far as trying to do yesterday and today, and pretty much I'll try to do until we get some actual game stuff going. And so I'll just go ahead and get started. Won't waste too much of your Saturday afternoon with what's going on, and let's dive right into it. The first thing I did while I was surfing, I found this thing that they've been doing at the Baltimore Banner. Jonas Schaefer and another, let me see if I can get the name right. Gianna Hahn. They're keeping up with the O-line battle, which is something I'm very intrigued in myself. They've got all three positions, the main positions: left guard, right guard, and right tackle. And so they've been trying to keep up with it on a daily basis to see who's necessarily winning and whatnot. And so they've trying to chronicle it in the newspaper, in the Baltimore Banner. And so I'm going to put it up there and kind of show you what they have so far, starting from July 21st up until yesterday. And so we're going to go through it together, and I'm going to read it off and show you what they have for those that don't have the Baltimore Banner. All right, so starting left guard, the contenders: Andrew Voorhees, a 7th-round pick last year, missed his rookie season while recovering from a torn ACL he suffered in the NFL scouting combine. Salah, a 6th-round pick last year, didn't appear in any games as a rookie. Josh Jones, who signed a 1-year deal with the Ravens in March, has played just 63 games at left guard over 4 NFL seasons. The early favorite, Voorhees, in June, the offensive line coach Joe D called him a driven young man. His injury, how he's come back, he's done a heck of a job so far. From day one to where he is today, he'll continue to grow with experience and confidence, which he's growing every day with it. Let me scroll down a little bit and show you what they got. So they got this little chart here, and it's showing you whether they're, doing good, whether their stock is rising or stock is going down. So on July 21st, they give you a little summary of what went on, and then the chart shows you whether they stay even, went up, or went down. And we'll go through it right here. July 21st, it said players won't practice in shells, shoulder pads and helmets until July 23rd, making evaluations different. And it's really hard to judge the O-line until you get pads on. That's why yesterday in my recap, I said that was really the first day of practice when you put the pads on, especially for the guys in the trenches, because you really can't get a lot done in helmets and shoulder pads or shorts and t-shirts, especially with O-line. All you can do is work on steps and stuff like that, but you can't really get into the meat and potatoes of practice until you get the full pads on when you're offensive lineman or defensive lineman. All right, July 22nd. Defensive lineman Travis Jones bull rushed Voorhees several yards deep into the pocket on one drop back. Voorhees also had to run a lap for pre-snap penalties. And if you don't know, Monken instituted running the lap for a pre-snap penalty. So every time you jump off sides or false start or something like that, you got to run a lap. So they got, that's what you might hear them talk about, running laps for stuff like that. That's what that is. And so on July 22nd, everybody stayed even. July 23rd, that's below the picture, so let me pull that down so you can see it. Right there. July 23rd, on the Ravens' first day in shells, the defensive line seemed to mostly have his way with the interior offensive line. Michael Pierce, Justin Matabike, and Travis Jones all had good rush up the middle. So on the 23rd, everybody still stayed even. July 24th, in the final practice before full pads come on, Josh Jones was penalized again for a false start. So on the 24th, they had Josh Jones stock going down. Then on the 26th, which was yesterday, in the Ravens' first fully padded practices, their interior linemen fared well in one-on-ones. Blocking Matabike and team drills have proved difficult. And that should be difficult for darn everybody in the NFL. But as a whole, they got all three of them with their stock staying even. All right, let's move on to right guard. Starting right guard. The contenders for starting right guard. Ben Cleveland started 2 games at right guard last season and played well, but he'll need to raise his level of play in practice. Salah is in the mix at right guard too, along with Jones, who has over 600 snaps of experience there. Daniel Falele will likely split time between right guard and right tackle while the Ravens determine his best fit. The early favorite is Ben Cleveland. He has the most experience among the returners and should be motivated entering his final year of his rookie deal. He should be motivated. Keyword should. You've seen nice progression and improvement. Joe D said in June, I'm anxious to see now when you start training camp, you put the pass on. And we're going to see if he will continue. It has to be earned, right? It has to be earned. I feel like he earned it, but every time we go out there, somebody else in front of him. I don't know if they're playing mind games or he just take it for granted and get pushed back or what. I don't know, but we'll see. And the last sentence says, it's earned based on play production. Every time he plays, he does well. But I just don't know what he do in practice. Because every time he gets in the game, he does extremely well to me. But what he do in practice is beyond me. But so July 21st, they got everybody even. They got Josh Jones stock going down. So what they got for July 21st, it says players won't practice. Same thing. July 23rd, making evaluations different. Josh Jones was called for 2 pre-snap penalties. That's why they got his stock going down. So July 22nd says Falele could have handled a 2-man pass rush game from outside linebacker Odafe Owe and inside linebacker Trent Simpson better, but he wasn't able to pass off Simpson as a looper, leading the pressure. But they kept everybody even on July 22nd. So the only mistake would have been for Falele couldn't handle the stunt. July 23rd, they got Falele stock going up. And what they had to say was, can y'all see that? Let me see. Let me pull it up. There you go. In the Ravens' first day in shells, the defensive line seemed to mostly have its way with the interior offensive line. Pierce, Matabike, Travis Jones all had good pass rush. They said the same thing a minute ago. Cleveland came out of one 11-on-11 drill hobbled and needed attention from athletic trainers, but he appeared to avoid injury. Falele, who continues to play significant snaps inside, had a solid practice, moving well in space and displacing defenders on run plays. Now, I will say this. If he's moving well in space, that means his footwork has gotten better. I'm a big opponent, like against Falele, because I think his footwork is bad. But if he's moving well in space, that means he's got better. He may not be cinder block feet. He may just be regular brick feet now. If his footwork has gotten quicker and he can move and go side to side and have a little bit of quickness, he might be demoted from cinder block feet to just brick feet. Let's go on to the 24th. In the final practice before a full pass came on, Cleveland, Falele, and Josh Jones were all flagged for false starts. So they gave Cleveland, Falele, and Josh Jones stock down for those false starts. Then on July 26th, the Ravens' first fully padded practice, their interior linemen fared well in one-on-ones. That same thing they said the last time, but they all gave them evens. All right, let's go over to right tackle. The contenders, Roger Rosengarten, the second-round pick, didn't allow a sack over his final 2 seasons at Washington, according to PFF. Falele just played 164 snaps at right tackle over his first 2 seasons in Baltimore. Pat McCarry has starting experience at tackle and can line up anywhere, but he's better serving as a swing lineman. Josh Jones played 256 snaps at right tackle in his career, but just 22 total over the last 2 seasons. The early favorite, Rosengarten. He needs to show he's strong enough to handle the NFL level edge rushers. I don't know if he can get that strong that fast. What up, Don C? I don't know if Rosengarten can get that strong that fast, but that don't mean he can't play. Because that's a matter of 6 months? I don't know if you could pick up that level of strength that fast. But the technique can help him while he gets that strength. But his athleticism makes him a good fit for coordinators Todd Monken offense. Yes, if we run a lot of zone, Roger Rosengarten can stay in. If we run a lot of power and counter, Roger Rosengarten may have an issue unless we run a lot of power and counter where Rosengarten is a puller. So that means we'd have to run a lot of power and counter left. That way, left, where Rosengarten is one of the pullers, not one of the guys trying to move one of them defensive tackles on the point. He's eager, he hustles, he gives good effort, he plays to succeed, said Joe D. And it's about continued growth, understanding the offense, and just let's see now when we put you in the game how you're going to produce in games. All right, so let's just skip down to the 23rd, because the 21st and the 22nd, they kind of say the same stuff. McCarry has played primarily out wide early in camp, but Harbaugh indicated after practice that the Ravens could move him around, creating opportunities for other contenders at right tackle. Ravens tackles have struggled at times handling stunts and twists, which is expected to be at this point in camp. So on the 23rd, they're all still even. The only person that had a down day was the first day, and that was Josh Jones, and we talked about that earlier at the different positions. So the 24th, final practice before they all come on, everybody's still even. 26th, which was yesterday, with the Ravens wanting to give Falele a long, hard look at guard, he had limited reps at tackle. So that's what Rosengarten and McCarry had got to take advantage of that. And honestly, you should just say Rosengarten got to take advantage of that, because they want McCarry to be a swing. So with Falele playing a lot of guard, Rosengarten got to take supreme advantage of that and just take that job if he want it. Because the more Falele plays inside, the less he got to battle with him at tackle. So if Falele gonna fight for a guard spot, Rosengarten got to take them reps at tackle and win them, because they don't want McCarry to start. They want McCarry to be a all-around backup. They want him to be a backup for everybody. That's what they want McCarry to be, except for center. Said McCarry and most of the linemen had trouble picking up the team blitzes in his first fully padded practice, but it was tough to assign blame. And so really at right tackle, nobody's stock went down with Josh Jones. So everybody pretty much stayed even. So if I had to pick a leader at right tackle right now, I'd say Rosengarten. And if I had to pick a leader at right guard, as much as I hate to say it, I'd say Falele. And then at left guard, I would say Voorhees. Just off reading this, that's what I would say. What do you guys think? What lineup you think is the best lineup to run out there for offensive line? Now, so if you're here live, put it in the chat box right now. And if you're watching the replay, just put it in the comment section. Now we're gonna go to the stuff that I gathered today from Twitter. So starting off with, who came back today? Lamar came back today, which is a welcome sight. I'm glad he's feeling better for whatever his issues was, stomach or flu, whatever it was. I'm just glad he came back. See what else we pull. Just more proof that Lamar's back. This photo is from Kyle Barber. Lamar getting a little sideline fade from Tyler Linderbaum. The kids went crazy when he caught the ball. It's amazing how popular this dude is. It's just flat out amazing. All right, so the next thing I got is from Gianna Han, who works with the Baltimore Banner. She says the Ravens have broken into individual drills, and Zay Flowers isn't with the receivers. I found out later that Zay attended a wedding. He attended a wedding today. Ravens practice absences from Kyle Barber, Zay Flowers with a wedding, Keaton Mitchell still on the pup. Joe Evans, I'm not sure why he didn't practice. Adisa Isaac, non-football injury. Calvin Noy neck. Rigby, I'm not sure why Rigby didn't practice. TJ Tampa on the pup. And Tucker went to the funeral. Tucker went to Jacoby's funeral. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this. RIP Jacoby. And I'm gonna give Jacoby 12-second moment of silence. I'm gonna give Jacoby a 12-second moment of silence. Starting now. RIP 12, root to the bros. All right, but next thing up, whoever takes these pictures, they do a heck of a job. Like this picture, this is an amazing picture. Like they do a great job taking pictures. Whoever on the Ravens media team with these pictures, they do a great job. A really great job. With the color contrast and all that. Great job. Do a great job with these pictures. Just keep it rolling. Another picture of Lamar back out there with the 8-ball. I'm gonna get a little action. Just a little regular DB drill. Marcus Williams and who was that? Marlowe. And it seems like Marlon is having a good camp. I think Marlon got 2 interceptions today. Marlon's having a good camp. Killer Cam say Falele's too slow to start that tackle. Yeah, I that's been my main issue with Falele. Being too slow, but I think, if he's getting better with his feet, he can graduate from cinder block feet to brick feet. And, he keep working on it. But overall, he's too slow. He got to be better. Let's see what else we got. Again, this is the little thing they were passing out bandanas today and to honor Jacoby Jones. A bunch of people went to the funeral and left their individual training camps and went. I was surprised that more Ravens players didn't go. I think Ozzie went. I know Tucker went. I guess Tucker is probably the only person that actually played with Jacoby that's still on the team. So I guess that's why. But they was passing these out and wristband. They had little wristband things too with 12 on them also. They were passing out. The receiver reps. Now I used to do this with when I was coaching receivers. I would take the dummy and put the dummy right in front of them. So they would work on their getting off a press with a guy right in their face. Then I would also take the dummy back about 5 yards and they could work on when guys tried to play catch man on. So they would have to work on their regular release and then do whatever they would do with their hands after releasing. So it's kind of the same drill. And I always like to see drills that I tried to teach high schoolers and I see them do it on a professional level. Because a lot of stuff that I did, I tried to think like, how would this work in a game? I ain't like see it on TV, then go do it. Later on in my career, I did, but a lot of stuff I tried to implement. How would this work in a game? Then I made a drill out of it. Then I would come back and see, like, go to coaching clinics and see professional things like that. I'm like, oh, we've been doing that. I didn't know this was an actual drill. But it kind of, stroked my ego a little bit when I used to see stuff like that. Jonas Schaefer says Lamar Jackson had some ups and downs in his return to action. As expected, he hit Tylan Wallace for a 50-yard TD catch and run on a play, off a play action. He also threw 2 interceptions, both by Marlon Humphreys, on apparent miscommunication with receivers. I wonder what receivers. Apparent miscommunication with receivers. I wonder what receivers that had the miscommunication with. I ain't gonna call no names and point no elbows. I ain't gonna call no names and point no elbows with the miscommunication. Ain't gonna cut no, numbers between 6 and 8. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna keep it moving. Next one is from Nikhil Mieta. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. He says Wiggins looked quite good after not being targeted much in OTAs and minicamp. Had a few plays on the ball, smothers most receivers in coverage. Hey, that's what we need. That's what we need. We need Wiggins to be that guy. Because we always have a cornerback or two go down. So we need them guys to just come on in and act like nothing happened. Act like nothing happened. That is a good question. That's a great question. That's a great question. But we always have a cornerback or two go down. So if we can get TJ Tampa back in the fold and have 4 good guys run them out there, maybe even 5 good guys, because we don't know what. I really don't want to count out Pepe and Lamar Davis. So if we can have our top 2 guys, Marlowe, B. Steve, have Wiggins come in and do what he needs to do, get TJ Tampa back, let him play a nice role, and get something out of Lamar Davis or Pepe, or get something out of both of them, that would be a heck of a cornerback room. A heck of a cornerback room. 6 deep. 6 deep. And I know the drop off will be some, but that's That's 6 decent guys. 6 decent guys. All right, let's keep rolling. Said Jeff Zaribic says Lamar Jackson returned, and predictably the offense had its best practice. A lot of catches from Likely and Andrews, which we know that's who need to get them because they wasn't there. Bateman wasn't involved. Devontae Walker and Kadir Ishmael made a few plays. Keyword, can I highlight this? Bateman was involved. Bateman! Well, I don't know how much we're going to hit at this year. I don't know how much we're going to hit at. See, being funny, I messed my bookmarks up. Oh, here we go. All right. Next from Kyle Barbie says, practice ended on Mills. QB Trayvon Mullen has suffered an injury in the middle of practice and left with the training staff with what appears to be an upper body injury. You know why? I forgot about Trayvon Mullen. I completely forgot about that guy. Completely forgot about him. Completely. Oh, I forgot to take that off. That's don't worry about this. Ignore this one. There's no power rankings. Power rankings over with. The Chiefs was number 1. Not the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs was was the Chiefs number 1? No, the Chiefs wasn't number 1. I forgot who I had number 1 just that fast. Let me look real quick. Y'all might get to see some over there. Nope, it ain't popping up on them. No, 49ers was number 1. That's what it was. 49ers was number 1. 49ers were number 1. All right, so back over here. Practice just wrapped here at the castle. The second half picked up considerably with sacks from Justin Matabike, Tavius Robinson. Hey, that's my breakout guy right here. This is my breakout guy of the year. Hey, gonna book it right here. Today is July 27, 2024, 5:52 p.m. Tavius Robinson will out-sack David Ojabo this season. Book it and ship it. Book it and ship it. Tavius Robinson will out-sack David Ojabo this year. Clip it. You know, you can clip it on YouTube now. Clip it, save it, mark it down. Write it down, take a picture. Y'all know the rest. Tavius Robinson will out-sack David Ojabo. Write it down. Clip it. Take a picture of it. Snap it. Screenshot it. Screen record it. All that. All right. Next one. Best moment of practice. Ravens did it down by 5, a minute and 20 seconds on the clock from 60 yards back. Lamar Jackson went 5 for 6 on 6 plays, and the offense scored with 30 seconds left on a Jackson dart to Nelson Aguilar. Cool. So we did a 2-minute drill and scored on it with 30 seconds left. All right, so we go to a few. I pulled a few of the comments, and this is one that I wanted to kind of hit on a little bit. It says, tight ends coach Guzzi says Mark Andrews is a positionless player. Let me get it back to the beginning.
I mean, he gets it, and he works hard, and he's capable of a lot of things. You know, he's really a positionless player, and that's what we talk about the room, really, because we play outside, we play inside in the slot, we play attached, we got a lot of different roles. So all those guys are capable, and Mark leads the group, him and Pat. I mean,
and that's what we need. That's kind of being positionless is good, but he still needs to have. I don't think they have this chemistry of where he can just he can just run to spots. And the reason I say that is because I always think about when I watch the Chiefs play, and Kelsey don't really run routes. He just run to spots, and then Pat kind of know where he gonna be at. Because Kelsey just run out there and just kind of turn around, and pat the ball will be on him. And I think Mark tries to do that sometimes, or a lot of times, but him and Lamar don't be on the same wavelength of what spot he going to. And that way him and, like, he'll run a curl to a spot, and then somebody be running the dig, and they be right behind each other. They be too tight to each other. But when Kelsey do the stuff like that, nobody be around him. It be Kelsey with the middle of the field by himself, and then everybody else be 20, 30 yards down the field. So maybe it's, it's in the scheme or what, but I'm not sure. But if they can get on the same page like that and just let Mark kind of roam the middle and have everybody else on different levels or outside the numbers and let him have the middle of the field, I feel like, we'll get Mark have a lot more room to operate. Let's go to the next one. From Isaiah Likely. This was tight end day.
Really just, harping on little things in practice. I mean, everybody brings up the Texans game when I told him to throw it up. I mean, that was just, what we do in practice. Like, I'll be in practice and say, man, Lamar, put some more air on it. I promise you I won't make you wrong. So, like, having those, situations in practice where he trusts me, where he does that in practice. So, in game, it's not the first time. So, in game, when I say, man, Lamar, throw it up, like, I got you, I promise you. And he nods his head, lets me know, like, I got you next time, I got it. And, when it's complete, it's always a good thing.
Now, throwing it up in the Texans game, hey, worked fine. But throwing it up in the KC game didn't work. Now, in his defense, in Likely's defense, he said throw it up. He could not see the guy behind him. He beat his primary defender, which was the linebacker, the guy trying to wall him off across the middle. He beat his primary defender. He couldn't see the safety behind him. The other safety was about 7 yards away from him. So in his defense, he was open. In Likely's defense, he was open. Lamar could see everybody. It was just a bad decision by Lamar on that one. But he saw the hand up. He gave his guy a chance. It is what it is. At this point, we can't do nothing about it, but be somber about it. Because, it's basically a new season now. But I understand where he's coming from. He gave his guy a chance. Didn't work out. You live and you learn. So going forward, he just know when he got to throw his hand up, he still got to make sure he don't want to put his guy out there bad like that. Because receivers gonna always want the ball, and like he said it later on in this interview, anytime the ball in the air is mine. That ain't always necessarily the case. Against three people, that ball ain't necessarily yours. He couldn't see the three people, but Lamar's got to have a better idea of what's around him. Yeah, it was a penalty. Yeah, it was a penalty, Blackley, but it was underthrown. I understand, but I'm just saying you live and you learn. Those are the type of mistakes where you build on, and hopefully it fuels your fire to just be better the next year. I hope. It was a penalty, but they ain't called it. One more quote from
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I've been going up against Kyle since rookie year. I mean, you guys have been here all the time. Me and Kyle went from rookie year getting like 7 straight one-on-ones every day to now where it's like when we see each other, we know like, okay, this might be the only one I get, so I can't have him talking in the locker room about it or when he get on the sideline. So, whether I win one, whether he wins one, we always want to talk and say, like, hey, why'd you do that certain way, or why'd you do that certain way? And, like, even today, like, me and Kyle got a little bit after practice, so we can work on some stuff with me and him, and, like, going from there. But I say, like, Kyle always gets me better. Like, win, lose, or draw my rep, like, I feel like I'll always get better. It's
Now, this is the part of the game that I really, really, really like. Kyle was just named number 43 on the top 100, if I'm not mistaken. If I am wrong, put it in the chat box what number he was. I think Kyle was 43. But the fact that those two get together and do one-on-ones and try to get each other better, that's the perfect example of iron sharpening iron. And those guys getting better, because Kyle's already one of the best safeties in the game. If I want to be a better tight end, what better person to go against on a daily basis than Kyle Hamilton? We're about the same height. Kyle may be taller than Likely. Athleticism, I think Isaiah may be a little bit more athletic than Kyle, but still, if I want to get better in my craft, hey, best guy, come line up in front of me. Let me see what I can do versus you. And the same thing with Hamilton. Likely's a up and coming tight end. If Mark wasn't on the team, I bet you we'd be talking about Likely in them same words they talking about Laporta and what's the kid from Arizona? I can't think of his name. The young tight end from Arizona. If Mark wasn't in front of Isaiah, we'd be talking about Likely in them same sentences as them good young tight ends that we talked about last time. Sorry about that. But he is. But I understand. Hey, number one, come here. Let me see what I got. Best on best. That's how you get better in football. That's how you get better in football. Let's see. I got one more thing for you, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. Oh, we've been going 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. All right, let's talk about that last clutch drive. I need a different screen for you. There you go. All right, they say the 2-minute drill. Just want to talk about the 2-minute drill real quick. It says beginning of practice, Jackson shook off a bit of a rust in a new-looking 3 pass catches versus defensive back drill. Jackson's pass to wide receiver Tylan Wallace was intercepted by cornerback Marlon Humphrey. His first series in the red zone, 11-on-11, he completed the pass to tight end Mark Andrews, but it was ruled out of bounds. The next play, Jackson couldn't find an open man and was sacked by defensive end Justin Matabike on 3rd and 2. But the practice ended with Jackson looking sharp, and no drill proved it more than a simulated fourth quarter drill. And it's the 2-minute drill we talked about. The Ravens' first team offense and defense lined up with the scoreboard change to the fourth quarter and 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the game. The offense down by 5 with 1 timeout only. On first down, Jackson hit Andrews for a 6-yard gain. The next play was a completion of wide receiver Rashad Bateman for a first down. Them first downs going. Then Jackson floated one over the middle to an open Andrews, who gained separation against cornerback Arthur Morlett for a field flipping completion, where Andrews was down at the 14-yard line. The long completion, and probably was incompletion. The long incompletion of the drive was Jackson testing a one-on-one with Bateman to the end zone, but the pass was too far. I felt Jackson threw it intentionally a bit far, was not to put the ball in harm's way and give Bateman a tough but possible chance. It was a bit further than he could reel in. After a short completion to tight end Isaiah Likely, the Ravens was faced with a 3rd and 2. This time, Matabike didn't get to Jackson as he rifled the ball into traffic and into the hands of Nelson Aguilar. Nelly always with them clutch catches. In 50 seconds, Jackson and the offense overcame their simulated 5-point deficit against the defense that has terrorized the past 5 practices. Afterwards, Harbaugh talked about Jackson's touchdown drive. And that's good, because the thing is, if the defense always winning, there is nothing good to come out of that. You got to have the offense win some, you got to have the defense win some. And then let's talk about these big plays right here. Then I'll let y'all get up out of here. Matabike notched the red zone sack. We just talked about that one on 3rd and 2. Both Eddie Jackson and Ardarius Washington, let's finally get to mention his name. Broke up passes in the hands of wide receiver Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan's the UDFA from last year. Outside linebacker David Ojabu put pressure on Jackson on a 3rd and 10 drill, as Jackson couldn't find anybody downfield. Later on, Ojabu shut down a defensive red zone drill as he and defensive lineman Broderick Washington put pressure on Johnson. I probably should say, that's Josh Johnson. The thing is, keep in mind, we started this show off with the O-line. The O-line is going to be sus to start with. Especially we got 3 new people up there and we trying to figure out who those new people are. The O-line going to be sus. And they going up against one of the better D-lines in the NFL. They probably going against a top, not trying to have my purple shades on, but a top 6, 7, 8 defensive line in the NFL. So even if they did have a top 5 guys, they still was going to get their butt kicks on. Excuse me. The next bullet. The second team defense outperformed the second team offense in the fourth quarter drill as Ardarius Washington and Tavius Robinson had back-to-back sacks. That's that man again. And if y'all just joining me, remember I said Tavius Robinson going to out-sack David Ojabu. Write it down. Take a picture. You know the rest. Robinson also had a sack in a different red zone drill. That's 2 sacks for Robinson on the day. Cornerback Kadar Holman denied 2 passes in the fourth quarter drill. Cornerback Christian Matthew intercepted rookie Devin Leary in the fourth quarter drill to stop third team offense after 7 plays. Running back Justice Hill had a few nice runs. He bounced one to the outside and made room to run with a sharp cut. And the other one was up the middle where he slashed through for a 5-yard gain and opened up for a good blocking. And then tight end Isaiah Likely reeled in a touchdown from Jackson in the red zone drills. I all know that they got false start laps. All right, one more thing before we get out of here. I know my guy I hadn't seen him in a live for a minute, but I just saw his name pop up. Where you go? I knew I saw his name pop up here somewhere. At least I thought I did. There he is. My guy right here. Let me get myself back up here. That's who got me this. Just wanted to make sure I got you your shout out. I got it. It's here. I appreciate you. Coair Multimedia. You missed your shout out the first time, but I know you in the chat box now. I got my stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for sending me the poster. Thank you, muchas. Hey, that's all I got for y'all, man. Again, when we have practice, I'm gonna try to make this your one-stop shop. This your Walmart of Ravens news. As much as I can find, I'm gonna give it to you and add my 2 cents to it. So I appreciate y'all, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. I'm gonna watch a little baseball, have a little dinner, and watch some Olympics too, man. I appreciate y'all. Peace and love. Hit that like button too if you haven't done so already. Like the Kings expecting them calls against the Lakers. Right. The Kings was not getting them calls versus the Lakers. The Lakers could have punched them boys in the mouth and the refs was not going to call them. That's right. Appreciate y'all, fam.